Hey guys, so while we're talking in terms of tyres, let's do wheels as well. I think it's probably a good option. So the question here is, are expensive wheels, exotic expensive wheels, really worth the money? Really tough call here. So I'd always been a little bit skeptical about this. I've had some carbon rims back in the SRAM Rome days, and they were okay, but the reality was they weren't that noticeably different to my, my aluminium wheels. They were fractionally lighter, but given as how I was tending to run fairly heavy tyre combinations or tyres with inserts and things like that, for more of a sort of enduro to downhill sort of feel, the slight weight difference was really pretty insignificant. From a strength point of view, yes, you can argue the carbon being stronger thing, but always been a little bit concerned that with the fact that I travel a bit, at least an aluminium wheel, if you do break it, you can kind of hammer it back into shape. And I've had a couple of pretty wrecked wheels in the past that I've managed to sort of hammer back together and get them to hold air and manage to keep riding. Whereas typically if a carbon wheel does fail, it's probably going to be catastrophic and you're kind of left walking without a wheel. So I'd always been a little bit skeptical about really exotic wheels. Now, I definitely needed some stronger wheels. I was running some Raceface AR30s on my current Slayer, and the hubs were okay, but the rims were a bit soft, and they have taken a fair bit of a pounding and had a few dents in them and so forth, and weren't as round as they used to be. So I did need to replace them, and I was looking at the options and decided that it would be worthwhile spending a bit of money and buying something a little more exotic. I had an opportunity to acquire some really good wheels at a reasonable price, so thought I would give them a go and see what I thought, going to the other extreme. So what I've got is a set of Industry 9s. These are amazing wheels. It's their top of the line hubs and the top of the line Canadian hand laid carbon rims and the aluminium spokes. This was more than I originally had intended to spend on a set of wheels, but I decided to give it a go and see what I thought about them. And I have to say, I've been incredibly impressed. The feel was entirely different and it completely changed the bike. So my skepticism of the benefit of exotic wheels has definitely gone away quite a bit. The downside is, of course, though, the cost. Is it worth it? I would suggest that from a racing point of view, if you're chasing seconds and you're after something that's really awesome, then absolutely it's probably one of those upgrades that is definitely worthwhile. Obviously it's an expensive upgrade. From a feel to the bike point of view, once again, they feel really good. It's completely different in the way they roll, the way they absorb bumps, the roll speed. It's just a massive improvement. The thing is though, they are also horrendously expensive. So I think it's one of those nice to haves. Obviously, if you've got the budget and you like really nice things, then I think it's definitely worth the money. If you're not, then there's a whole lot of cheaper options out there, and your bike's still going to run pretty well, and I doubt that it's going to make massive differences on the time of a run. Putting these on my bike isn't going to suddenly make me win elite races or anything. I just really like the feel of it. The downside is, it's like everything new you put on a bike, it's really hard to go back. Now I've ridden on these, the feel is just so good that it makes it really hard to ride anything else. One of the key things I really like with the Industry 9 hubs is the massive amount of engagements of the pawl on the back end. I was riding another bike when mine was in for some service, riding my wife's Pipeline, and really good bike, good set of wheels, nothing wrong with the bike, and I really noticed the difference in take-up from when I started to pedal. So on the I9s, as soon as you start to move the cranks forward, they're engaged and they're pedaling. The others was still a good quality DT Swiss hub, but I actually started to really notice the lag. So for me, it's one of those things that now I've got these, it's going to be really, really hard to go back to something else. And I guess for me, going forward, I probably will now be continuing to invest the money and have exotic wheels on my bikes, because they do feel so good, and it's noticeable to ride with something else, and I don't really want to. So yeah, for me, it's going to be worth the money, I believe, to continue to stay with these. If you've got the budget, then absolutely it does change the way the bike rides a lot more than what you would think. So yeah, something worth considering. So thanks for watching, guys. If you found it useful, feel free to like our YouTube page. Feel free to subscribe. There's heaps of other stuff out there. We're hopefully getting a bit more active again, producing some more video content. Comment below. What do you think about the wheels? What wheels do you use? Do you think it's worth buying exotic wheels? Obviously, if you've got any questions, feel free to jump on the We Ride Mountain Bikes Facebook group, and yeah, it's a great forum there, and we can discuss it in more detail. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.